Hello everyone and welcome back to Hockey Talk. I'm your host Jack Brooks and today I will be talking about the top 5 NHL fantasy players so far. And now before we get into this, yes, I know that I already did an episode about the top 5 fantasy goalies, so now I'm going to move away from goalies and do the top 5 fantasy players overall. And one more thing, last episode I did do a bold prediction, so I won't do one this episode. And on that note, let's get started into this podcast. So coming in at number 5 is none other than the center for the 6-3-2 Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby. And here's what I think of his performance so far in the season. If you've watched my 2 Stanley Cup prediction episodes, like I said, number 1 and 2, I did say that the Pittsburgh Penguins were not only going to make it, but win the Stanley Cup this year, and Sidney Crosby will be the MVP. He's now the 5th best fantasy player so far. His team is doing very, very well, and I still have faith in him and his team to make and win the Cup, and then for him to win MVP. This is a very good player, as we've seen him back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions are the Penguins. They didn't do it last year, though, because of the Capitals. But Crosby has continued to make the playoffs, continued to push forward. This is a very good player, as we've seen from the past couple years. He just needs to stay off the DL. A big problem that the Penguins had last year, Crosby got on the DL, so did a bunch of key players for their team. So to me, as long as Crosby stays off the DL, he can definitely remain in the top 5 fantasy players and still also win the Cup MVP. Now, coming in at number 4 is the center for the 7-4-2 Colorado Avalanche, Nathan MacKinnon. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm just going to call him Nathan. So now the Colorado Avalanche, just like the Penguins, are doing very good this year so far, 7-4-2. The Avalanche are 4th in their division right now, but despite being 4th in the division, their record shows that they can win games. They just need to work on overtime. But Nathan is a very good player and a key to this Colorado offense. If you've been watching him and following him this year, there's a reason why he's not the 4th best fantasy player so far this year. He is doing very well, and also big part of their offense. And like I said, the Avalanche are 4th in their division, so he needs to help his team claw their way to first place. Now, I know he's doing really well. To me, he definitely does need to push it just a little bit harder, help his team out a lot, which he already has been doing, get his teammates excited to play hockey, get them ready to get on the ice, and if their defense, to me, for the Avalanche starts doing good and don't choke in the final period and in overtime, then I do definitely think that this can be a very problematic team for their opponents. And now coming in at number 3, yet another center. The other center for the 6-3-2 Pittsburgh Penguins, Evgen Malkin. Now look, I'm going to call him Malkin because I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. So now look, this is once again with Crosby, a very good player for a very good team. He's definitely doing better than Crosby fantasy-wise and stats-wise. That's why Crosby is number 5 and he's number 3. He is definitely doing better stats-wise than Crosby, but they're both centers competing in the same position for a very high-ranked team. The Penguins are just doing very, very good this year, and I still think that if the Penguins do manage to win the Cup, which I am predicting will happen, and then I still think that Sidney Crosby will win MVP because even though Malkin is doing better stats-wise, to me, Crosby, he turns on the playoffs. He is a very good player, but for Malkin, just like Crosby, he has to stay off the DL. The problem for the Penguins last year wasn't just that Crosby was on the DL. A lot of key parts of their offense and a tad bit of their defense was on the DL. So just like Crosby, Malkin definitely does have to not get injured. And to me, this team can really power through the rest of the season, continue to be in first place in their division, and power through the playoffs. And now, coming in at number 2, the left wing for the 5-4-2 defending champions Washington Capitals, Alexander Ovechkin. So there is no question that Alexander Ovechkin is arguably the best scorer in the game. Yes, even better than Sidney Crosby. Look, this is a very, 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 very good player, and last year he finally got the Champions ring he deserves. To me, Ovechkin is better than Crosby, but the reason why I think the Penguins and Crosby will win the Cup and then Sidney Crosby will win MVP is because it's not Ovechkin, it's the Capitals. The Capitals are a big playoff team who can't really find a way to power through and win a cup, which I know they did last year, but that was their first and only cup win. To me, the Penguins and Crosby will win it because they're able to power through the playoffs a bit more. But in between Crosby and Ovechkin, I definitely say Ovechkin is a better goal scorer. He can find way more open lanes. And to me, right now, this season, his team needs to step it up. They have 5 wins, 4 losses, 2 other losses in overtime. So Ovechkin, congrats. He is doing very, very, very good. And let's just see if his team can step it up and make it to the playoffs again. And now the moment that we've all been waiting for, the number 1 NHL fantasy player so far, the center for the 7-4-1 Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid. Now this is a very, very, very good all-around player. As a center, it's very important that you get the face-off, that you're really good at getting the face-offs. One, he has proven that he is phenomenal at that. He is a very good offensive player and an even better defensive player. His team is in 3rd place in their division, and in 2nd place is the Vancouver Canucks, and in 1st place the Calgary Flames. But even though his team is in 3rd place, despite having the 7-4-1 record, Connor has been doing very good all around. Like I said, he always wins face-offs to me, or most of the time. He is very good offensive player, but like I said earlier, he's definitely a better defensive player. His defensive stats are off the charts. He can definitely get a lot of turnovers, and he really turns on and just gets 100% focused into the game whenever the puck is in the defensive territory. He's very good at being aware on defense, and to me, there is no surprise that he's the number 1 fantasy player so far. And that's what I'm going to end on. That's what I'm going to end this episode on. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like the podcast and leave a comment down below on who's doing the best on your fantasy hockey team if you do have one. Please join me here tomorrow where I will do another episode with a bold prediction. And until then, I'm Jack Brooks signing off for now here on Hockey Talk.